Hi, this is Tracie Mars, the Remax Equity Group again, and today, now we're going to talk about pretty versus non-pretty, if I can stop my cat from hitting my camera. Um, Pretty versus non-pretty. Let's talk about a tale of two homes. One home is what I like to call lipstick on a pig. You walk in and it's got newer flooring or new flooring, and it's got new countertops, and they painted the cabinets, put on some new hardware, and did some, white subway backsplash. Maybe the roof is not new, or it's, a little bit older on the roof, and the windows are a little bit older, but it looks pretty. Okay. And, it's got like a dozen offers on it. And then we go look at another house that might be a little bit less money, but it's not as pretty. It's got a little bit older flooring and carpeting, and maybe the roof's in better condition and the windows are a little bit newer, but the counters are a little bit unattractive. Let's say they're yellow beigey, and it's got some yellow beigey, like stuff behind the counters, and the cabinets are the older cabinets, and oak cabinets, let's say, and no handles or anything. And the first thing people say is, "Oh, the house needs so much updating. I don't want to do it. It just needs too much updating." It's like, no. And as a realtor, I have a hard time with this because this home is priced less for a reason, because they know it doesn't have as much updating. They know that it doesn't have the new counters, and they know it, maybe the roof's like, 10, 15 years old, and it's not as updated, and the carpet's a little bit more worn. It's it's in a good area. It's got a nice yard. It just needs someone to come in and give it a little bit of sprucing. And then the other house, maybe they put in $2,000, because a new laminate countertop, realistically speaking, is not that much money. White tile subway backsplash, maybe $800 if you pay somebody to do it. Paint the cameras. I know investors, and this is what we do. They call it lipstick on a pig. They'll come in, they'll take that one house that you said, oh, too much work on, and they'll spend a little bit of time. They'll paint all the cabinets. They'll spend $300 for new hardware. They'll have somebody come in and in a couple hours put up some white subway backsplash and spend a little bit of money for a new laminate counter. And then they'll put in some, have, somebody come in and, just put in some, cheap carpeting over the other pad, and maybe some luxury vinyl tile, do a little bit of touch up paint. And next thing you know, the next weekend, they're putting it on the market for $50,000 more. And you're like, oh my God, I love it. I want to make an offer on it. You saw that house last weekend and you said it needed too much work. Guys, come on. Help us out here. Stop looking at pretty. This isn't high school. We remember the guys and girls in high school, the really, really pretty ones that everybody wanted to be around, and that they were, let's be honest, and no offense if you were one of the pretty people, a little bit more shallow, because they were pretty. And don't get me wrong, I know people who I thought were very pretty in high school who didn't have a following, but there was always those one people, and you know what I'm talking about. Those people that were just kind of, they were just the popular ones. All right. And then there's the people who have really good personalities, and stop with they have a good personality, meaning that, I'm sorry, I was really cute in high school and I still had a good personality. Now I'm just a lot funnier because I don't. Yeah. Anyways, going back and forth to houses. Guys, look for the house that's going to give longevity. Look for the house that doesn't have a dozen offers on it because it's pretty. Maybe you have to pull off some paneling. That's not hard. Yes, I know we're busy. I know you're busy, and we're all teaching kids from home. And trust me, we're all still teaching kids from home, and we're still working, and we're doing all this other stuff. But we can do this, okay? Don't look for pretty. Look for look for the house that's going to give you longevity. It's like being in high school. Look for the person who makes you laugh. The one that 29 years later is still making you laugh. Look for the house. When you're looking at houses, stop looking at pretty. I get it. Pretty's pretty. But you're going in, and I've got a client right now, and they're looking at they made offers on pretty houses, and so did everybody else, and they wrote offers over listing price with a low appraisal addendum saying, hey, I'm guaranteeing you this amount of money over a low appraisal, and we're only going to do safety repairs. And we were still getting beat out because the houses were so pretty that everybody wanted to be with this house. And now we got another house that we actually have under contract. Guys, I'm going to say it again. When I talked about multiple offers before, do not be afraid of going back up. If you love the home and you are offered the backup offer, take it. It's surprising how many people in a multiple offer situation get cold feet and back out. If you're the backup position, you do not have to go back out and compete for that one, because if the first offer backs out, you got first grabs on it. Do it. These guys went backup position on this one house. It's in the perfect neighborhood. It's got a little cul-de-sac. The roof is newer. There's a couple windows that need to be changed out because they have pop seals. Some of the cabinets in the kitchen should probably be, if it was me, I would not paint them. Because honestly, guys, I have dogs and kids and cats and whatever, everything else that you saw. White cabinets drive me crazy in a kitchen. Just they do. But maybe restain them and put on some nice hardware. And it could use a backsplash. And, the counters could be updated. And that's easy stuff to do. And they're looking at it and they love the house. They love the neighborhood. The roof is new. I mean, it needs a little bit of stuff on it, but it's no big deal. The house is great. And they went back up on this position because we lost the first one after we lost 3 others. So they went for pretty. And this house wasn't as pretty, but the bones are good. And they went back up, and now we are first position, and we have a home inspection this next week. And honestly, we're coming in, and I know a guy. Your realtor always knows a guy. I mean, I know a carpet guy. I know a flooring guy who's very affordable. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I know, people who can put on a nice counter really quick. If you want to do a granite slab, I know a guy. Okay, I always know somebody. If you want to do some nice backsplash, you want somebody to come in and paint those cabinets for you and put on the hardware, I know a guy. There's so much you can do with a house that might not be as pretty as the other house that you can do. And even if you don't do it all the way, because we know getting into a house is expensive. One of the next videos we'll do is talk about all those other fees that no one else talks about. So we always talk about, the earnest money, and we talk about home inspections and appraisals, but not the other fees. So we're going to talk about that another time. Getting into a house is inexpensive. But this is all stuff that you can do over time. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Don't fall for pretty. Look for substance. Look for the house that is in the neighborhood you love. I mean, and again, if we're talking about taking out walls, don't do it. You're not going to take out walls. I know everyone talks about it. We did it at our other house. We took out part of the wall. We had to leave the beam. We had to leave posts because of structural standards. But again, there's so much you can do. But if you're talking about taking down walls and doing all this and moving around the floor plan, that might not be the right house. But what we're talking about here is just cosmetics. Cosmetics are easy. Stop falling for pretty. Stop falling for lipstick on a pig. I can't stress it enough. That house with lipstick on a pig that they put maybe $2,500 into has a dozen offers because it's pretty. Well, I don't have to do anything. I can move in right. Well, you can still move in the other house right away and just do a little bit of stuff on the night, because none of that's big stuff. It's cosmetics. But a lot of people don't want to do it themselves. And that's why sometimes you can find a home that just needs a little bit of cosmetic that might not have as many offers. Another good thing to look for is maybe homes came back on the market. Did it come back on the market for a inspection reason? Do they know what the inspection reason is? Something like that. There's homes out there that might not have as many offers because maybe they're not as pretty. Maybe they had a sale fail and they're back on the market, and someone else is like, "Ooh, I don't want to touch this back on the market. It's got to be bad." Not necessarily. It's not always bad. Sometimes people just get cold feet and they back out. Again, this is why backup positions are great. Again, if you're offered the backup position in a multiple offer situation that you lose out on, take that back up. You might be able to get it. Guys, again, this is just a quick video talking about pretty versus not pretty and backup offers. Not bad. Don't, remember, some of us age better than others. Yay! Go for the one that makes you happy. But don't fall for something that might not be as good as the next house just because it looks better. Looks fade. You don't know who did it. Maybe it's just all they did is throw on some quick paint and did some really quick, easy things that weren't done right. But you don't know because it looks good. Look at the bones. Look beyond the surface. Just like people. What does Mary Poppins and the new one say? Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a house by the paint. Don't judge a house by the cosmetics. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me. And again, learningtobuyahome.com, where you have all your video and blog needs. Have a great day.